Dear brothers and sisters, I'm Jesse with Living Tree Community Foods, and I'd like to say a few words today on this beautiful sunlit afternoon about the latest threat to organics. I'm referring to hydroponics, the growing of fruits and vegetables in chemical solutions. And yet, they are labeled organic. They're grown in chemical soup, in sealed buildings, irradiated 24 hours a day with LED artificial light, and yet they are organic. Some see this as a threat to the soul of organics. Think of it. Those raspberries and blackberries that have been in the stores all winter. Those peppers, those cucumbers, how shiny and bright. Not a spot or imperfection. They've been grown artificially. What about the tomatoes? All winter long, organic cherry and grape tomatoes have been coming from Mexico. They too have been grown artificially. Now, Mexico prohibits hydroponically grown vegetables from being sold as organic in Mexico. But it's okay, of course, to sell it as organic to the U.S. The organic label will indeed assure you that an item has not been contaminated with pesticides, artificial fertilizers, or GMOs. But it is of no help in knowing whether or not a fruit or vegetable is growing in living soil or a moonscape. Because hydroponic production is typically done indoors in a greenhouse, the crops are isolated from the entire terrestrial ecosystem. Soil, flora, and fauna, as well as insects, birds, and other plant life. So hydroponic greenhouses do not promote ecological balance. They do not conserve biological diversity. On the other hand, when plants are grown in soil, the breakdown of organic matter by microbes and invertebrates releases most of the nutrients plants need, particularly the micronutrients. Organic farmers build fertile soil by adding organic matter from crop residues, animal manure, cover crops, and so forth, thus providing the conditions that allow the organic matter to decompose and form humus. The use of cover crops, compost, natural sources of minerals, and grazing animals improves the organic matter content and diversity and wonder in the soil. This is the fundamental process of regeneration that makes organic agriculture truly sustainable, able to grow food over the long term. No such regeneration occurs in soilless systems such as hydroponics. This is all the more tragic as these times cry out so desperately for regeneration and renewal. Hydroponics is naturally disruptive of sustainability. Let us look closer. Hydroponic plants are not the same as those grown under natural conditions in the soil. Hydroponics produces large waterly plants which are very low in mineral content. But that's not all. Even if they have the same composition, they are deficient. From the point of view of aliveness, they are deficient, lacking in life energy, which is more important than any nutrient. Indeed, it is life energy that makes the assimilation of nutrients possible. The existence of an energy, neither electrical, magnetic, or nuclear, an energy endemic to life, has long been postulated by the deepest thinkers. It can be measured, concentrated, and focused. It can demonstrably promote healing. There is an enormous literature. Could it be that fruits and vegetables grown hydroponically under LED lights and in the most controlled of environments are fundamentally different from those grown under natural conditions? They are deficient in life energy. Here are tomatoes imported from Mexico, raspberries, and mini cukes grown in the US. All are grown hydroponically. Here is a lettuce from my garden. Can you sense its vivacity? How alive it is. This life force, if you will, is more important for healing than any nutrient. Let us look deeper. Hydroponics is a symptom of the increasing industrialization of agriculture. Family farmers everywhere are being squeezed off the land. The number of U.S. farms fell sharply until the early 1970s, after peaking at 6.8 million in 1935. By 2002, from 6.8 million, only 2 million farms remained. Organic offered, for a while, a safe haven, whereby farmers could survive for a while, but now this is being threatened by massive industrial farming. A fruit or vegetable is not a computer chip. Lettuce, kale, and celery is produced as mechanistically as a cell phone or computer chip. This is all the more tragic in regard to animals, which are treated with immense cruelty. Hydroponics, in its breakup of the ecosystem, with its tearing apart of the relationship between soil, flora, fauna, insects, and birds, is part of this moonscape ethos. How remote this is from a family farm, where the farmer is the true husbandman of his soil, plants, and animals. He thinks and labors continuously to augment the fertility of his topsoil, upon which all life depends. Brothers and sisters, we urge you to remember the victory gardens of the Second World War. Backyards and front yards were dug up and converted into vegetable gardens. This is a great tradition it behooves us to return to. An enormous amount of experience in biointensive growing has been accumulated since then. Every backyard, no matter what the condition of the soil, can be filled with raised beds. These can be replete with lettuce, kale, chard, parsley, spinach, and celery. And what about tomatoes? Remember, brothers and sisters, no tomato is as good as the tomato that you have grown yourself. Think of it. Your backyard filled with raised beds of organic vegetables. Your front yard an heirloom fruit orchard replete with old-time apple and pear varieties. If you are concerned about the food you eat, we urge you to grow it yourself. We urge you to shop at farmers markets as much as you can. Nothing can take the place of face-to-face contact with the growers. Talk to them. Ask them questions. Find out about how they grow their fruits and vegetables. It is tragic that after so many years of struggle to establish a standard of organic production, it is being undermined so dramatically. I have to smile at what is occurring. In place of hydroponics, aquaponics, and even aeroponics, we now hear of bioponics. Bioponics, think of it. How heartwarming. Makes you want to go out and plant some lettuce in a bucket of chemicals, doesn't it? No chemical solution can ever take the place of black, worm-filled organic soil that is carefully tended and worked by a farmer season after season. Let me conclude with what I learned from an esteemed colleague, Joel Karlinski, a profound student of life energy. He told me there is no substitute for a natural ecology, and there never will be. Thank you so very much, and bye for now, my dear friends and brothers and sisters.